Okay, some more vinyl to talk about. This time I'm going to discuss the 2024 remastered version of Testament's The New Order. This is their second album, probably their best album. And I just wanted to discuss what this comes with, what the insert looks like, the booklet, what the vinyl looks like, and I'll even compare it to the 1988 release that I also have on vinyl. So let me go ahead and switch cameras and we'll get into this one. Okay, so here they are side by side. The original did come with a hype sticker. Somebody bought this for $8.99. It wasn't me. I bought this used a couple of years ago. Anyway, so the original had a hype sticker that just says, includes Nobody's Fault and Trial by Fire. The remastered version, here's the hype sticker. Remastered from the original tapes by Sterling Sound. Limited to 1,500 units, 16-page LP-sized booklet, and it's pressed on blue and purple swirl vinyl with black splatter, and it's 180-gram vinyl. So obviously the covers are different. This is the alternate cover that they had come up with. You can see there's more of a face here. You have eyes going on here, kind of a smoky thing going on. There's more of the planet showing as well. It's also more purple. This is more blue. Unfortunately, this suffers from what I've seen with a lot of these, reissues, whatever you want to call these. The logo itself, look at the line here. I don't know, there's just like some pixelization. It's not as clean as I'd like. I know I'm being super picky about this stuff, but if you look at the original and look how clean that line is there. Okay, and then the back. Obviously, the back of each of these is quite different. You can see there. Different picture. The way the songs are listed here is different. Different credits. Let me go ahead and hold this a bit closer here. I love how they did this. They put the Testament is, and then it spells out legacy. You can see there. That's cool. They did that on the remaster as well, but it's on the insert, so I'll show you that in just a minute. One thing I wish they had done, on the CD, they made it where all the songs kind of look like an hourglass shape. I always liked that, and I wish they had worked that into these vinyl covers here, but they didn't, so oh well. The insert on the original was just this. So you had lyrics, you had the picture of the band and the producers, Alex Perry-Alice, and then the special thanks. So pretty straightforward. The vinyl on this was obviously just black, so I don't even need to show that. Okay. I'm pull this aside here, and we'll take a look at the inside of this. This is a gatefold on the remaster version. Let's zoom out a little bit. You can see this. So the left side here, this is all written by Alex Perry-Alice. So it just talks all about the history of the band and how they didn't suffer a sophomore slump, which they definitely didn't, because this is probably their best album. That's very cool. And then the right side, this is written by Ricky Zazula. So that is, I'm assuming that's the daughter of John and Marcia Zazula. The weird thing about this is there's like I don't know, this is wrong. It says up here, the 1988 release of The New Order cemented Testament's reign as thrash metal titans. Okay, sure. Then it says, and it is arguably, and they didn't hold back. I mean, is that like, did they just like not notice this? And it is arguably, and they didn't hold back. I don't know what happened there. That's obviously, incomplete sentence. Something happened where that wasn't finished. I don't know what happened, but it's very weird. Anyway, still cool to hear from Ricky Zazula. I do also like that it says, fills me with pride to be part of the legacy. That's cool. All right. Now the insert on this one. So let's zoom out so you can see the whole thing. We'll go through this real quick. Make sure you can see the whole thing here. Here we go. So you get like stuff that was mailed into the record company. You get all the lyrics, pictures. This I think was really cool over here on this particular letter that was sent in about the album cover. They had a concept for the album cover, which sounds crazy. It says, basically, I'd like the cover to be a modern cityscape seen from the perspective of someone standing on the roof of a skyscraper looking down. The backs of the five guys in the band will be in the front of the viewer, and their enormous shadows would be cast on the buildings facing them and on the street below. I'd like this to be as realistic as possible, not cartoon-like or exaggerated. And then it says, I've enclosed a terrible example of what I'm talking about, with only 2 band members. There is no, they don't have any picture he's talking about here, so we can't see what this guy's concept was, but honestly, it doesn't sound very good. I think the original album cover is thankfully what they went with. This sounds just very cheesy, if you ask me. But still very cool that they included this in here. They said, hey, we had a really terrible idea for an album cover, and this is what it was going to be. All right, and then you have more lyrics. I love that they included things like album budgets. That's just crazy. $12,500 upon delivery of the master tapes. There's also here you have more invoices, things like that. $50,000. Jeez. Another one. This one talks about Testament recording budget for the new order, all this stuff. The final total expenses, $51,615, which probably in today's studio expenses isn't that bad, but that's a lot of money, especially for 1987 and 88. Man, that's crazy. This Chuck's thank you list. This talks about the credits of the album, how it's going to go on the CD or on the vinyl. Sleeve, back cover, stuff like that. And in the back. So here's what I was talking about, where I said they had the names of the band members, kind of spelling out Legacy. Legacy was the original name of the band, in case you're wondering, but here you can see they did. So the first letter of each band member spells out Legacy, except for the Y, so I just threw a Y on the end there. I always love that. That's really cool. All right, so let's take a look at the vinyl itself, which is awesome. So here is side A. Look at that. That is awesome. Amazing. So cool. And side B. Also awesome. There you go. And it's definitely 180 gram vinyl. This thing is really heavy. So, very, very cool. All right, so that's it. That was Testament with the new order. That was the remaster versus the original. This album is still available on Nuclear Blast's website. It is $50. It's expensive. I'd say it's well worth it, though. And if you like this video, you like this stuff, consider subscribing to our channel and consider sharing this video. And we did discuss this album on the podcast, so I'll put a link to that in the description below on YouTube. But other than that, that's it, and I'll see you all in the next one.